you can't control people. You cannot control them, and you cannot change them. So if you don't like them for who they are at the core, then leave them alone. Welcome back, you beautiful humans, to another episode of Remarkable Revelations. My name is Alexzandria, and on this channel, I help women tap into their God-given worth by sharing my personal revelations. And y'all, I got a revelation for you today. And it's so crazy because I have struggled with this all my life, but I didn't really realize to what magnitude I struggled with it up until a month ago almost. So I'm super excited to talk about this with you guys today. The title that I want to give this is How to Honor Your Feelings in Understanding Expectations versus Standards. I have been reading the book of Proverbs all month of February, and God has been getting your girl into shape, okay? But I just want to dive right into it. I think we have 3 scriptures today. I have a lot of notes that I wrote down because I didn't want to miss anything, but let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And I want to start off with breaking down the difference between expectations and standards. Believe it or not, we use this word interchangeably a lot. So we'll say, oh, I have high standards. And it's like, no, you have high expectations. So I want to go over the definition of those two before we move further. So an expectation is a strong belief that something will happen in the future. It's basically something that is subjective, something that's internal. In simpler form, it's basically a story in your head that you hope to play out. And only you know about this story. You have characters in this story, but only you know about this story and how you want people to move in and out of your life. Now, a standard, that is going to be a level of quality serving as a foundation to give judgment. So, people have standard operating procedures, SOPs, in businesses and pretty much about anything in life. And these items are factual and they're not subjective, meaning they're objective, and they're supported and backed by facts. Pretty much no feelings involved at all, as opposed to expectations. There's all the feelings involved, right? So for example, and this can be any relationship, okay? It doesn't matter what type of relationship this is. But for example, your standard could be, I require open and effective communication in my relationship so it can remain healthy. Your expectation is you expect the other person to communicate daily their feelings and their emotions to you. So you see the difference in that? So the standard is open communication. The expectation is tell me how you feel every second of the day. No, that's control, right? So those are 2 different things. So 3 signs that you are someone who struggles with saying, oh, I have standards, but you're really saying you have expectations. You pretty much expect people to read your mind. And you'll say, oh, they know me. They should know me by now. And they know I want this, and this. No, absolutely not. Number 2, you feel entitled because of the type of person you are. I'm a good person. People should do this. People should do that. Again, no. And number 3, you might not say it, or you might not even believe it, but you rely on other people for your happiness. And it's common. We're human, we seek validation, but no. So those are going to be 3 signs that help you identify that, do I need to go back and work on what are my standards versus what are my expectations? So your girl experienced a situation about a month ago, And I literally handled that situation very, very poorly. I was trying to honor my feelings, and my feelings are definitely valid. They are real. But as I was reading throughout the book of Proverbs, it just made me aware, I guess more aware, because I kind of already knew I was acting a little bit childish towards the situation because I was trying to hold someone to a standard based upon my expectations, right? So just reading the book of Proverbs, it just let me know that I was acting crazy. And when I finally did decide to communicate, I used phrases, and I quote, I wrote them down. Based on who I am, you should have done this. You know me, and you should have done this. I expected you to acknowledge my works and do this. And when I said the words acknowledge, something just took me back and was like, okay, Alex, wait a minute. You're talking to another human. You're not talking to God, right? I was expecting something from this person that only God can give me. I came across a Bible verse as I was doing my studying for this, and this is going to be Psalm 118, verse 8. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humanity. And I know we have loved ones who care for us and who would die for us even, but ain't nobody gonna take care of you like the Lord gonna take care of you. So you cannot put your trust fully in man. Having expectations of someone is literally a setup for failure. We cannot expect people to be mind readers. We need to be adults and communicate. And I see this a lot. I mean, you see it in the movies, you see it in social media, you see it in active relationships today, where it's you're gonna chase me. You know, I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna stick it to the man. And essentially, I really did think I was sticking it to the man. Like, oh, this is gonna show them. But no, if anything, it shows more about you and your character and how you respond to the situation, as opposed to communicating clearly and effectively how a certain situation made you feel. I think oftentimes we feel like when we do communicate, it's almost like we're bowing down, or if it's making us look weak and we're explaining ourselves. But it's like, you are explaining yourself because you're standing up for yourself. You're being vulnerable and sharing how a situation has treated you. Again, you can't hold someone to an expectation and then judge them for it and resent them for it. That's not fair to them. So we have to give them that opportunity to show up in the manner that we are seeking, and then go from there. I feel like we ruin a lot of relationships all because of expectations. You know, when it could be a lot easier when we just communicate. So I came up with 3 ways that you can properly honor your feelings and get rid of those expectations of others. So the first one is pretty blunt, but spend time with yourself and really outline, what are your standards? Not expectations, but what are your standards? And then when you figure them out, make sure that they are objective and can be supported by facts and not feelings, and set them in place. Number 2, if a situation occurs, communicate clearly. Do not demand. So you will say things such as, when you do this, it makes me feel like this. Not, you never do this and you need to do this because it makes me just scratch the whole thing. Okay. One of the verses that I came across in Proverbs that really stood out to me was Proverbs 15 verses 1 through 2. A gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge attractive, but the mouth of fools bursts out foolishness. Just relax, have a conversation, and be vulnerable, because that's all that it is. I mean, that's really it. And we see vulnerability as a weakness, but it's not. It's actually very, very powerful, and it allows you to have deeper connections and deeper relationships with the people you're communicating with. So do not see it as a weakness. And number 3, my favorite, you can't control people. You cannot control them, and you cannot change them. So if you don't like them for who they are at the core, then leave them alone. But if there's obviously some wiggle room and they are willing to adjust to you and you to them, then let's find some level of compromise, okay? No one is perfect. So if you can find a medium ground, then I highly suggest it so you can savor the relationship and move forward. In the end, guys, we are responsible for our happiness. God tells us to protect our hearts, for everything flows from it. And Proverbs teaches us how to protect our hearts wisely. Like, I'll even say for myself, in relationships, my expectations of others has been an indirect way for them to validate me. Because that's all that an expectation is, right? Like, we're hoping someone sees our worth. We're hoping someone sees our value. We're hoping someone compliments us. We have to give people room to be exactly who they are and not who we expect them to be. I want to highlight that we're human and we're complex, and each of us have our own individual lives. So we cannot expect people to read our minds. We can't expect people to just think about us all the time. You know the saying, the world doesn't revolve around you. As much as I would like that to be true, it doesn't. But sometimes our actions can portray like, no, the world does revolve around me, even though we know that it doesn't. But that is when communication comes into play, and that is when you realize, okay, this is an expectation. This is not realistic. Okay? Do the work, guys. Do the work and really spend time with yourself and figure out what your standards are and set them in stone. Some standards may be higher than others, again, because we're individuals. But you know what you need. You know what you require. But just make sure you can back it by facts and that it is objective. I want to end on something which I think is so funny but relatable to this topic. Earlier this week, I don't know, this may be TMI, but I'm on my cycle, y'all. And I don't know if it's like a hormonal thing or if I'm just in my feelings, but I have been really needy this week. Just like not really feeling like I'm worth it. Just needing some extra attention, some validation. But I'm proud of myself because typically I would indirectly, seek it from other people. Like, I won't be like, hey, tell me I'm pretty. Like, I'll do something to receive a compliment, right? But I actually talked to God. It was really weird because I never did anything like that before. But I was like, God, I need some extra loving today. Your daughter is needy and I need some validation. I don't feel like I'm worth it. I don't feel this, and I need more. I need more. And by the end of the day, I was on top of the world. And I'm not making this up. I'm not embellishing at all. Like, he literally, and it wasn't like anything like instant. Like I didn't say the prayer and I was like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. I think I just, after the prayer, I remember I was sitting in my car taking a break from work, and I think it was just my posture and my faith that I know he heard me in my prayer request, and I just moved with that. Like, he's gonna give me all the loving. He sees me. He's already pleased with me. Like he's gonna validate me. You know, he already has validated me, but still. So by the end of the day, I just felt really loved and really seen and extra cared for. It was just a really good day, and I was productive too, which I did not expect because I just was in a really big funk. But the Bible says you do not have because you do not ask. So again, our expectations are our indirect way of seeking validation. So whatever you're seeking, again, even if it's validation, tell God. Let him be the one to give it to you, because it'll last. What we get from other people here on this earth, it will not last. Even if it's good, it doesn't last, because God is sovereign. We are not. We are complex human individuals. I wrote a quote from Joyce Myers, and she said, "We suffer much agony because we try to get out from people what only God can give us, which is a sense of worth and value. Look to God for what you need and not to people." That is all I have for you guys this week. I really hope that it was helpful. I hope that it either A, help you in your current relationship to build a deeper connection, or 2, prepare you for any new relationships that you are getting ready to enter in. If you found this information helpful, please share it with a friend or a family member. I would love the support. And you know what's next? It's your turn. If you have been saying you got some standards, but they're really some expectations, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'll share mine, you share yours. I love talking to you guys. But other than that, guys, you know where to find me. I will post all of our information in the links below, where you can find the clothes, myself, and of course the brand's business page. I'm so excited about this, y'all. I'm so excited. I do have a challenge coming up March 18th, y'all. March 18th. It is going to be a 2-week challenge. It is going to challenge you physically, mentally, and spiritually. Everybody is always asking me, how did I get to this version of myself? And this 2-week challenge, I'm packing in over the last 32 years into it. Just kidding. But I'm definitely going to highlight the key factors that really got me to the woman that I am today. So please go over and sign up. It is completely free. I am really looking forward to connecting with like-minded women who love the Lord and a good old workout, okay? So I will catch you guys in the next one. Remember to stay and be remarkable, and I will see you later. Bye.